Thank you very much. Once you come online, please you share extensively. Let's have everybody on board. This is probably my third live show in 3 days because of the necessity of what is at hand, and especially given the fact that we have a lot that is going on, you know, and I want us to understand that no man is bigger than this revolution, and let's keep in mind that we don't have to overdo something, you know. So please, once you join, you share extensively. And when you join, you keep typing "Rest in Peace, General Amigo," and say God bless you all for your commitment. You just keep writing "Rest in Peace, General Amigo." Thank you so much, and we want everybody to come on board. I'll start talking when we have about 250,000 people, and of course, this remains a very significant live show to me and to the people of Ambazonia, because you know uh, we have to move on and understand what exactly is going on, and a lot of the fighting here and there that has to stop. When you join, you write "Rest in Peace, General Amigo," our great hero who fell in the battlefield in Boyo yesterday. This show today, basically, I am making a straight reply to a brother and friend, uh, Tapang. I think we have to handle this before it gets out of hand. And so I thought it wise that this would be the exact moment. I don't want to go too far because we are at a stage where we have to control a lot of things, contain them before they actually go out of hand. So this is basically going to be one of those very rare outings where we would ensure that we put to rest a lot of things. I've been talking with some of the leaders because I think more or less there is a mission from God for us to unite, and we will talk some sense into anybody who wants to bring some sort of division, any further division, because it is our obligation to change the status quo. For 2 years or thereabout, we've been fighting each other, and we have kept ourselves out of the reality of a war that has been brought to us by Mr. Bia. And I want to say this very emphatically that we will continuously reach out to everybody who has at least something to contribute positively in this revolution. And it is my obligation. It is a duty that nobody has assigned to anybody to do. It's a duty that is coming from the heart, and that a lot of us must understand the basics of the sacrifices that we make as compatriots of our homeland. And we also have to understand that we are wrapped by various characters in this whole sort of a movie, and we continuously try to ensure that we will not puncture what God is trying to build for the Amazonian people. I have the task, I must say now, that I have the task, I have the responsibility in ensuring that come rain, come shine, there will be unity. And so I am not perplexed by the attacks, continuous attacks from some of our compatriots. I didn't say that they were not going to write some more stuff, and they're going to write even more after this, and even more and even more. But one thing I'm sure is that there will be unity, because it is a thing that we must champion until we get to the final elastic limit. A lot of us, as we are aware, the devastating effects of the war is actually very visible. And while you write "Rest in Peace, General Amigo," or "Rest in Peace, A, B, C, and Z," you have to understand one thing, that those people on whose pictures you're writing "Rest in Peace" on social media, they have families, they have loved ones. Some of them have their fathers to 8 children, 2 children to a child, their uncles to their breadwinners in various families. And please, if you join, you share extensively. We're going to start the show soon. And so we must take those priorities in the classification of what we type "Rest in Peace" on. Because apparently, I want to address myself to Ivor Tapang. You know, I have tried to reach to some of the leaders, and I'm going to do more. And I wanted to make it this way, so that some of our compatriots will understand that there will no longer be social media space for ranting, for conspiracy theories, for lies telling, for in-house fighting, for this huge disunity, you know. And I want to urge all of you and crave your indulgences, fellow Amazonians, to ensure that you listen. Let me tell us something. This is like an MP3. An MP3 never stops, and especially when it's on repeat. But every music gets to tune down a little bit for new music to begin. So there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Did somebody bother yesterday reading 1 Corinthians chapter 1, 8 to 10, as sent by Sisiku, Ayuk, Tabe, Julius? I'm sure a lot of our people watched, they read that overnight already. And it's important, for us to understand that the priorities of this revolution can be a function. The way you set the priorities of this revolution will be a function of your understanding of the term empathy. Empathy, it means that you put yourself in the position of somebody. Your will to push this revolution ahead is based on your intrinsic understanding and interpretation of the word empathy. Empathy intrinsically means it's not sympathizing, because you can sympathize with somebody without putting yourself in the person's position. That's to say that when a young girl is widowed, you put yourself in her position. When a child is been orphaned by the death of his father and mother, or his or her parents, you put yourself in the position of that child. You see, this revolution has stages, and it only suffices for everybody to move from one stage to another. You see, it is some sort of metamorphosis, and I still wonder why my brother Tapang Tanku wants to remain in same position of writing conspiracy all the time. It is not strange to me though, but I know that we can all change, we can all fix this, because at this juncture, there's only one thing that matters, and the one thing that matters to me is the 10 million people, those children in the bushes, those pregnant women in the refugee camps. And I have my family too in Nigeria. They are refugees. Everybody's been touched by this crisis. And by everybody, I mean people who have empathy, who understand what it means to be in that kind of position. And I must tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, the exact understanding of your pursuit of independence must be lined up with the aspects of justice for all, the understanding of forgiveness, and the strength from which position you come to talk to people. Apparently, one of the things that kept Mark Barita very essential in this revolution is because once he apologized, because he understood that the will of the people is strongest. And some of us, like many others, would apologize, even for no wrongdoing, because I have seen cases where a lot of people are serving life jail terms because just in the quarters that they were so boastful and they refused to say, I'm sorry. And they got to the state council, they got to court, and they went to jail and they wasted their lives. The issue about creating an atmosphere where you can have a panacea to serve as a very accurate remedy for situations like ours can only be facilitated by minds that understand the definition of the word empathy. You see, a lot of people have died. I mean, a lot of people. There is this word that I use, or this phrase that I used some long time ago. It's called Pyrrhic victory. Pyrrhic victory means you can actually get what you want, but you get it at a very high cost. Like you get a win that is like a defeat, and if you are conscientious enough, you would not want to get Amazonia to that level. Sisiku, Ayuk Tabe Julius, our president, has written from jail. Only yesterday when I spoke, you saw a handwritten letter from him. But the message he sent to me, since he couldn't write for long, I didn't have that letter. I saw it on Kemi's wall. And people who know can follow up to testify Sisiku's writing. But what I got from him, it was very interesting, because he asked us to read 1 Corinthians 1, chapter 1, from 8 to 10. And I must say that it is important for us to follow up on that Bible verse very technically and closely. Now, this is what I want to say. I am reading everybody, and I'm following up a lot of people as yesterday after my live video, and I am listening to you, and I've been crying since after that period, because a lot of you called me, and there are people who are very concerned about this revolution. There are people who are totally so involved, and they want to understand where we have to go from here. On the contrary, like you are aware, there are others who don't bother about where we should go and what we should do. But that is because, to me, I want to feel that they don't have enough conscience talk, because sometimes we have to come down off our high horses to pave the way for everybody to understand the need for a national reconciliation. I watched the president of Kenya. He did that amongst his fiercest political opponents. Kenyatta did it with Odinga, and many more people have done it. You know, you do it with your wives, your girlfriends and boyfriends, your husbands. Every successful marriage is built on the foundation of I'm sorry. Because if you do not apologize to people to pave a way for a better stage, then you would have failed. Now, this is just a prelude of my discourse. I want to get to my brother and friend, Tapang Ivo. I I have read him, and Tapang is an engineer of some things that I don't understand. And I just read Ashu Kingsley drew my attention to something that Tapang posted just a while ago and even tried to send it to me. And I said I was going to, because if I call Tapang's name on my wall, not for something bad, because I promised I was not going to, it's not going to change him, because he's a well-known figure in this revolution, so it doesn't change nothing. But I want to clear up some things and to tell Tapang some other things that he doesn't understand about me, Eric Tato. One thing about me is the certainty with which I do things, the commitment, what I'm sure of, and the fact that I read everything I do and everything I say before I do them. I've read somewhere that Tapang says that he's trying to imply that I apologized yesterday because probably I have a criminal charge from the FBI based on my videos and all of those stuff and all of that and those things. Well, and that uh, uh, he will not go and stand in front of any U.S. court to testify for somebody who asks for what, that people's hands should be cut off, people's hands should be, this should be done, that should be done. Let me say this very clearly, my brother Tapang Tanku. I am aware, very much aware, that you as a person, you have sent a lot of things about me to the FBI. You have forwarded, edited some of my videos. You've sent them to the FBI. You've sent them to the U.S. Homeland Security. You've sent them to many places trying to sabotage me, to get me arrested, and to make sure that something bad happens to me. But I have good news for you. You're my brother. And from my heart, I still say I'm sorry and I forgive you. That's not because I need you to come and testify in front of any court for me in the U.S. Basically because everybody can need everybody, but in this U.S. court testimony case, you would need me more, because I don't have no case with no FBI. You as Tapang, you don't have the credibility to stand as a witness for me in front of any U.S. court, because you are the one who has a criminal charge in terms of something. Let me just read something to you, Tapang. I want us to fix these things and get busy with the revolution. We need our country and we can't keep fighting. So I'm just doing this as a lesson to any other activist, that when you, Tapang, you had issues with Dr. Fontaine's money, everybody chastised you. I was the only person who wrote and defended you, who published the news on my timeline, on my page, and explained how you've given the money back to Dr. Fontaine. And so, one thing you must understand is that, let me fix this. Just a minute, very quick, just 1 minute. Just give me a minute. I will come back just shortly. I had an alarm to remind me of something. Let me just get this done. I'll back in just 10 seconds. Thank you guys very much. I'm sorry for that. I need to fix something. Thank you so much. You know, uh, we want to keep this thing straight, and for all of us to know that we have to fight as a team because the things that some people have failed to understand. To me, and like all of you know, uh, I can really fight really very hard. But like I said, an MP3, an MP3 plays and stops for a new music, and this is where I'm stopping for a new music, you know, to play on because we need unity more than all everything else. You see, the FBI, when I said that the FBI called me, the same Tapang said that FBI can never call me because he has been doing more, and why would the FBI call me? A lot of them, including many of them. And then today you claim that I have a charge against the FBI. No, I don't have no issues with the FBI in the United States. I'm doing this on video because when you type the word or the abbreviation FBI anywhere in the United States on Google, on your Facebook timeline, as you're typing, FBI knows that this IP address has typed the meaning of FBI. They know. I still say it on here, and FBI invited me once because somebody cloned my account, claiming that, I have said that they should burn properties in the US. And I went to the FBI. That was why FBI was worried. FBI don't convocate freedom fighters for using words like guns or do this because they know that America also fought the war of independence. Let me refer Tapang to the official website of the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the kind of crimes they investigate. FBI doesn't have jurisdiction to investigate me on a freedom fight. No, they were concerned about the fact that somebody used my account and I cleared that and they gave me papers and I signed and I went. So it should be clear to you that the only person that FBI investigates public corruption committed in the United States, and the only person that will need me to assist him to testify, to bail him out of court, would be Tapang, not Tapang needing me because I don't have no issues with the FBI. One Ambassadorian community should know this so that people should not sit and imagine things. I cry because I was led by the Spirit of God to cry because that is the only thing I needed to have done at that time. And if I'm going to cry some more to ensure that, we come together and fight this fight and win, I'm going to do that. If that is what it's going to take for me to do. So you can't begin to craft things. You write lies on Facebook about FBI. It's public record. Don't do things that will hurt you. You're my brother. I know you from Adam. We've come a long way. But when you did wrong things, I needed to talk to you to make sure that you try to change. So you can't have that amount of hatred, amount of conspiracy, because those are things that don't work with me easily. But I've said that I'll keep on preaching love to you henceforth. This revolution is in stages. The first stage is past, the second stage is past, and this is another stage. This is a stage of reconciliation, a stage for us to come as a team, not for us to continuously try to bring conspiracy theory, And to you, my followers, some of you say that apology is a weakness. I want to tell you that you are weak indeed to conceive the apology of a man as a weakness. No, it isn't a weakness. Apology is the strongest, is the biggest asset that can beat the strongest enemy. An apology, I am sorry, is worth the whole money in the United States of America. Let me tell you something. This war is now more spiritual, and a carnal man can fight it. You need to be overtaken by the Spirit because The division amongst the Ambazonian frontline leaders, is as a result of the fact that the regime in Yaoundé has planted enough on the ground to keep us divided. And we can only succeed if we get united. Let me be clear with you. Everything has a time and everything has a limit. We must understand one thing. See, let me tell us something. In all, if I must say, and I must state categorically, if you look at the number of people who have died, the number of houses, people who are homeless, people who are in need of food, our people, your people, you would stop this social media kincoism, this fighting to be superior, and trying to ensure that at all time you are stirring some divide on social media. We need to rest, take a break, graduate from that perspective of total division. Because it suffices for you to, if you type the name of Mami Api on your wall, the name of Sisiku, Ayuk, Tabe, Julius, the name of Patasan, the name of all these people, and you do all these things and say, we are fighting for Ambazonia, then you must listen to what the people want. The people want unity. If you're fighting to liberate a country and you can listen to the voice of the people, then you don't know what you're doing. Yesterday, I tried to reach to Capo today. He sent me a message, though it was controversial, but I tried to call him. He was online. I've called some other people, and I'm going to call everybody. I also reached out to Ambassador Fossong, trying to see how we can organize everything there. I talked with Secretary Chrisano. I'm trying to talk with everybody, because we can't continuously. I'm talking to Tapang. You're my brother. I read everything you write, because I can't pretend that I don't go to your wall to look for things, but they send me things from you and I read them. I can't pretend to say, I don't read stuff you write because I want to make us do, because you use dishonesty. Somebody said that I don't watch Eric, but you know the last 3 minutes of my video that I was crying. So you watching me with a fake profile, what? We are supposed to move out of that cocoon of docility. We're supposed to move out of that era of darkness. I want to say a big thank you to Della Della. Della Della showed me yesterday, amongst the many people that we have had disagreements, that he has a heart of gold. Because, see, Tapang Tanku, you're my brother. I must tell you, I'm sorry. I'll still tell you again from my heart, because it's not going to change me. It's not going to change. It's not as though you gigantic, or you can write a lot of conspiracy on social media more than I do, but it's just because there is the principle of higher good. It's also because obedience is better than sacrifice. It's also because we are concerned about a goal that is most important than all this conspiracy. If, for example, if FBI wanted me for questioning, would it not be your place to help me as a brother, Tapang? Would it be something that you will make a lot of show out of it? But unfortunately, I'm saying on video that the FBI, which is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, I've gone there before in their office. I can go anytime. I have a couple of people there. I have no case with the FBI. I will never have any case, because if you read the jurisdiction of the FBI, it doesn't cover me, except I'm involved. I work in this country. I have a social security. I have my daughter born in this country in one of the hospitals. My name is everywhere. So you can't write conspiracy theories about the father of an American. You can't do that, because the FBI is there to protect me, not to harm me. So you can't say that I was crying because of the FBI. I don't cry for no prison people, because the prisons are the best place for leaders to get them reformed. Sisiku is going to come out there and is going to come big and tall. You've seen the letter from somebody who is in jail. He's not writing differently from what he has always said. He's asking for everybody to come together. He said the IG and the other frontline leaders or the other point in the movement. So we have to come down from our high horses. I want to say, I'm not going to call the name of every Ambazonian to say I'm sorry. This is a public apology. So do not expect me to come and start listing one name after the other. If you feel hurt, this is from my heart. This is from my heart. Because they have killed a lot of people. And every day I'm seeing people quarreling over dead bodies. We can't continue like this. We can't. There are people who have dollars in millions, in thousands, and they want to put it in this revolution, but they can't because of the acute disunity. I want to tell the truth, my brother Tapang, and any other person who's listening to me, that if you continuously write, controversial things, conspiracy theories, you will be out. You become so redundant. You will not like to even look at yourself in the mirror. You can do more. You can do better. You can concentrate on writing the deaths of our people. How Sister Kemi is doing. How they are burning houses. You have a following. You should concentrate yourself on doing those things. Exposing more of those things that the regime is doing that is detrimental to our people. Because we should understand that this is a new phase. Sisiku, listen, let me tell you something. I am very touched because I've seen that man's hair. Let's be honest. Those are people's parents, uncles, breadwinners. Those are teachers to students. People who have missed them. They have been in jail. In no time, it will be 1 year. Sisiku will be celebrating his first anniversary in jail on January 5th. That's just December will be the 11th month. During that period, I'm going to do a Sisiku Ayuk Tabe pre-barbecue or something. I'm going to organize here in the TMV area that I'll invite everybody. That's my own initiative. So we cannot. I see like Dashwai and Bazolina who is trying to puncture Comrade Cho Ayaba and all of those things. No, I am not for that anymore. Because we should give peace a chance again. I spoke with Secretary Chrisano and I told him one thing. And I said to him that, have you come across the biblical saying that forgive 77 times 7? And he said, yes. I said, so that's what we're going to do. We have to forgive many times as that. There is no way we can win this fight without trying to get peace again. Because when the peace would have failed as a result of some people who didn't want peace, those people would be themselves in pieces. But for now, we have to try again after the failure in DC. So I am proposing another conclave of all the leaders, of all Amazonians. I've spoken with some of them, and we are sure that we can work something out. So we must stay committed. Atta John, my friend, I don't know you. I always see your videos. You're doing a tremendous job. But please, if you're a human being, let's just give chance to peace once more and see what's going to happen. The gravity of the carnage on Ground Zero. For the past days, I've not ever been able to post on National Telegraph because, the gravity of the carnage is enormous. You see, a lot of people still want to think that we are doing child's play. No, we are not, because this revolution is far. I think that most of you've seen what Sister Kemi has been posting. She's doing a great job, trying to expose the bad things of the regime. I'm trying to understand why we cannot all concentrate on things like those. So, my brother Tapang, calm down. Just pipe down a little bit. Just pipe down. God is in control. Because this is not the time for the flesh. It's the spirit. You have to get out of carnality and get out into spirituality in order for us to win this fight. And one of the ways to win, to get this, show this level of spirituality, is by understanding that the best thing to do sometimes is to say, hey, bro, let's leave this thing. It's done. I'm sorry. We'll move on. Probably, let me say this. Okay, let's assume. Tapang, yes. You see, for all the things I've written about any of you or all the live videos, I'm sorry. I was so wrong. You are all right. All the time, you've been right. In fact, what you wrote about me is okay, no problem. But let's see, how can we move on? How can we move from here? Look at Sisiku in jail. That's a rich man, a wealthy man, who took upon himself a role without a pay. He was spending his time and money. Nobody was paying him because Ambazonia has not enough fund to pay anybody for now. Yet he's been incarcerated for almost close to a year now. And he rises from jail, Tapang Tanku, if for nothing, for the sake of that man and his family. You should have posted even his letter on your wall, or you should have understood the gravity of the number of people who are dying. We must put our hands on deck and understand that there's only one reason why I cry. I cry. See, let me tell you something. If you love Ambazonia and you receive these people talking to you, you need to hear how people cry when they call. You know what it means that, I don't know, say, listen, you know what it means that somebody calls you and is talking to you about his family that has been killed? You know what it means? No, I want to ask you. I want to apply, this issue of empathy. See, put yourself in that position that they called you from home, that they have wiped out your family, your mother, your father, your two brothers, your sisters, like they did to somebody in Rome, like they have done to people in Kwakwa, in Kembong. People have lost their entire family. I mean, there are people who are like, they're going crazy, they're going out of their minds because they don't have any more reason to live for. I want to tell you, for those of you who are talking about General Arike, I've reached out to the poor of Boyo and I've added my voice to yours, saying that Arike must be preserved and let them solve their problem. And let's leave this politics out, man. Let's go out of this cocoon of politicize and everything. Let's give chance to some peace to reign. Let's make Porbi a panic with our unity, because that is what BI is praying against every day. Because once we get united, BI will be finished. So I want us to understand one thing, brothers. See, you have not understood the essence why you are called to this struggle, to this movement. Everything that you are is a privilege, it's not a right. Because everything that you do is a function of breath, of the breath given to you by God. And if every human being is created in the image of God, and you are actually fighting for the liberation of 10 people, you must understand that it's a privilege. Because at any time, God can take that breath away. I can sleep and I don't get up tomorrow, but I want to set things straight. The only way we can fight this fight is with our two hands. But with all the strength, the techniques, all the policies and the projects I can propose, I'm doing it with one hand because I'm trying to fight with the other hand and I can't be effective. So I don't want to fight La Republique with the hand. I want to fight with my two hands. And the time that you take to write things that are anti-revolutionary, take those times to post things that will destroy La Republique to Cameroon. You see, in the most, in most of the things that we want to follow up as human beings, the desire not to understand the realities exactly what has punctured a lot of relationships and a lot of even the strongest men. Because, like I was saying, that if you look at, if I say they have killed 10,000 people, they are still killing people. Go to Konfodo in Menchu. You hear that they've burned you. That report is not out there because it's stuff that I've bought that I've not published. Konfodo in Menchu, just like in Way in Menchu, they have burnt houses. Almost an entire village is being wiped out. And I'm saying to myself that what is the benefit of fighting? We have passed that stage. Everybody knows who is who. But we can now reconcile and then work with a lot of transparency. You see, Sisiku wrote and he's concerned about the IG and other frontline leaders. He didn't just say the IG because he's recognizing every other group, but knowing that the IG is the government. And we must function in a way that we must make the government all-inclusive. So I don't want people writing conspiracy theories and all of those things, and we want to begin to ask who is supposed to do this, who is not doing that, and what is right, what is wrong, and all of those things and stuff like that. So we have to calm down and understand that the lives of those people back home matter. And just to say that some people too complain about the 5 days, they say it's good, it's IG, it's law, but they are appealing. And that was a polite way of doing it. Some have written to me. They are appealing that the IG should look into the decision of the 5 days. That is how you talk to a government. That is how somebody say she's getting an echo. So you have to check, is the volume okay? Is the volume okay? If my volume is okay, let me know, please, so that we can continue. Just a little more, in a short while we'll be done. If the volume is okay, let's get it clearly. Is the volume okay? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, essentially, it is not... Eric Tato was not apologizing because he's bothered about FBI or there's any issue about FBI. There is none. Those are just things that Tapang imagine and write, and those are not good things because you don't put yourself in that position of always writing lies that can always be discovered. So, Tapang, you are my brother. I'm sorry, we have had a lot of issues in the past and we've been trying to fight each other for no good reason. I've just been trying to do my job to keep a check on society and on the people's resources, and you might have taken it differently. So I say I'm sorry, and I'm very sorry, So we have to continuously fight as a team, and we have to get everybody back on deck. Everybody, all the time that you waste in doing audios, or all the time that we can use in having fake profiles, write things against people to make it look somehow. All of those things we're supposed to, put ourselves together and try to ensure that everybody moves forward. People have lost a lot of their loved ones, their mothers, their brothers, their sisters, uncles, and all of those. So we have to ensure that everybody comes on deck. We have already won, but the issue is that we have to, win this fight in the quickest time possible so that some of our people will not be killed continuously. However, I must say that my apologies from my heart, and continuously I say I'm sorry, but nobody should take it as a sign of weakness. I do this for one thing, out of sincerity, for us to come out there, be as a team, and work as a team, and see how we can solve our problems. And so I understand that there might be some different perspective about all of these and about how all of this works, but let's get it as a fact that there is no way we can continuously work without trying to understand our various differences and trying to keep ourselves together. So please, Tapang, do not write things that you don't know nothing about. Eric Tato has no issues with the FBI. I'm saying it in public. I've gone to the FBI once. on invitation. I was treated well. America is a country of law. And I was returned back in one piece to my wife and family in less than an hour or two. And I signed those papers and I'm out there. It was not a criminal charge and nobody has any issues against me. I've explained that when I said that, you came and you talked against it. That is a lie. The FBI cannot do this because I want to be important. But same you are coming to confirm that I have an issue with the FBI. Simply because you have been cutting parts of my video and sending to the FBI, say, oh, this man is trying to bring violence in Cameroon. And, you know, is there a war that is fought without violence? Is war peace? You know, when people say this is war, it's not romance, it means it's war. And so, that's it. So thank you very much. And I want to extend some other issues. I think after that, we have done with that. Let me get to some other serious business. Now, I got information that some lawyers, Anglophone lawyers, they are in in Bafoussam. Others are trying to campaign for the elective assembly that's coming up in Douala. See, let me say this, and very clearly. You can quote me anywhere. I'm going to say it on this same live video, that I want everybody to get it from me, from the American government to the British government to everybody, that we are at war, and any lawyer of Southern Cameroon's extraction that would dare to go to Douala will not come back to Ambazonia, because we have a situation where some lawyers want to go and legitimize the claim of Mr. Bia. So if we have any lawyer that will leave either Mutengene, Bamenda, anywhere in Southern Cameroon and go to Douala, when you go to Douala, remember, if you have your brother, if you are listening to me, you have your brother that's a lawyer, tell them that this thing is not a joke. So if they go, listen, if they go to Douala, it is against the law of Ambazonia. It is against the law of the land. And we have anybody, by any chance, who is related to any common law lawyer in Southern Cameroon, tell them that the day that they will go to Douala to attend that conference, and when they will come back, they will know why they call me Eric Tato. This one is about me. It's a personal issue. Because they cannot be killing people. They are burning villages every day. Every day they are attacking. Imagine that the military goes to a funeral in Kichu, in Buelo, and then shoots in the funeral and having killed mourners because they were looking for an Ambazonian fighter. You don't want to look for fighters in the funeral. Those are areas that are secret. You can't go there. So we want to say this very clearly, that any Southern Cameroonian who has a brother that is a lawyer, tell them, give them this as a very sound and clear warning, that if they dare to go to Douala, if they dare to go to Douala, some people go and write that Eric Tato said they will apply Gary process. Yes, we'll apply it. We'll apply it. Because this thing is not a joke. Some people think that we can continuously condole with people who are facilitating crime in Ambazonia. We will not do that. We will not do that. See, let me say this. When you say that, some people say, oh, the international community will come and do this. They will follow people after war crimes. I'm not afraid. You know why? Because the international community will first of all go to jail for staying quiet. Who are the people? Go and read the charter of the United Nations. Read that of the African Union. Read all of that. Read everything that's supposed to preserve lives. So that allow Paul Biya to kill 10,000 people. Then you come and you are romancing them on social media because you think that they are going to get you after independence. If we get independent and I go to jail, what's my problem? That's the question I want to ask you. What is my problem? I'll go to jail. I'll still be alive anyway. What about those who have died? Amigo died. Is Amigo living? But he was fighting for homeland. People have died. And some people think that when we say Gary people, they think that we are joking. See, let me tell you something. Listen, any lawyer who will go to Douala by chance, accident or design, will apply a swift Gary process on that person. Will sell you Gary. Because this thing is not, you see, let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Listen very attentively. My name is Eric Tato. I need a joke. I'm not talking to your opinion. I follow up personally for all those lawyers that they campaign for go for that bad stuff. Personally, me no ambassador, no worry. I take the responsibility. Any lawyer will go there. Any lawyer, we know everywhere. We assume that you people are going to meet enemies in La Republic to carry weapons and come and kill our people. We assume that you are going there to sell information about our people and you cannot come back to Amazonia. You will not come back. You will not. That this fact should be clear. Maybe some of these lawyers think that we are joking. No, this thing should be very clear. If you go there, you have to deal with me. You have to deal with me, Eric.courage. Any lawyer will go there. No, make it be clear. Because some people think that this revolution, see, Bia has failed. And if you are going there. Stay in La Republique. You cannot be fighting for a separation of common law and the French civil law, and you are still going there. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot. Because you are going to legitimize the nonsense that has been going on. And let me inform Mr. Bia. And I want to tell this, everybody should listen. We have the capacity to burn down Yaoundé. Yes, enough is enough. They kill people every day. Some people think that we are joking. Let me tell you. Any lawyer will won't go now. Me go for them and see. When you go there, you go come become from Amazonia. I'll make sure you don't stay in that land. This is war. Enough is enough. And any lawyer who think that we are joking, let them go there, let's see. Let them go there. I have your names. I will not read them anymore. But when you go there, I will know and I will teach you a lesson. Yes, this nonsense is too much. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that the key people to go campaign for God do it for bar? That's the question I'm asking you. That's the question. For how many people are they refugees? You go for God legitimize because when you go there, they will take pictures. Bia will show the world that okay, see, they are complaining about the common law. We have fixed this problem until they are coming to attend meetings in Douala. Until they are part of the General Assembly. This is an Anglophone. This is an Anglophone who, listen, they are Francophone lawyers who are working with the regime. And you can't do that. You can't do that. They'll say, oh, this is an Anglophone that has come. He's member of the bar. See, Matt, or something. No. One thing about me, Nasani talk China fit one. Any lawyer, no. Any lawyer will no say, he be human being. Me go to Allah, see why I go come back fine. No, me go. I did talk on video. This is no joke. Some people think, you think I'm afraid to go to jail? I'm not afraid. Because I'm not saying anything wrong. I am not. Let me tell you, this is war. This America fought for 8 years, 4 months to make this country like this. That is why. Do you know that a CNN reporter won Donald Trump in court? Yes. Donald Trump stopped Jim Acosta that they took his White House press card that he can no longer come to the White House cover events. CNN took Donald Trump to court. And what happened? The judge ordered Donald Trump, the White House, to return that man's badge. He's back in the White House. This country is a country of law. They fought to build this country, and we are not even fighting 1 billion of what the American people fought. Let me tell you. So when I see people, you are fighting war, and then if your compatriot who is fighting a war says that they should do this for people who are going against the law, you come and start using that as a theory to try to make him look stupid. No, let me tell you something. I am not afraid to go to jail. I'm saying it again. We are going to unite, but for anybody on ground zero who wants to go contrary to this revolution, we'll deal with that person. No, we'll deal squarely. We'll go and sell that person Gary, get ready to buy Gary. This is not a joke. This is war, and they cannot be killing people repeatedly. I mean, see, you know how many people they killed in Bello, in Kichu, when they went to kill General Amigo? They killed 7 other monarchs. There were 10 people. Ask the poor of Bello. They killed short people in the funeral. Innocent people. And Colonel DJ Budget already ran and told her that they have killed 10 Amazonians. You go and kill innocent people in the funeral. It is about time we also started opening fire in funerals in La Republique du Cameroon. And this war that I talk of the taking it across the Mongo, the ATM, we have to activate it so that La Republique, see, if Pobia, might tell Pobia one thing, this war, any one human being where Pobia don't kill him for Saudi, he must pay. Every after independence, he must pay. See, it is a war that will not end. If Pobia thinks that this thing is a joke, let him wait and see. Trust me, we have the capacity to destroy, disseminate La Republique du Cameroon. Nonsense. Until some lawyers are moving, campaigning in Bafoussam, trying to find people to vote them in the elective assembly of a bar that you're trying to fight to separate. No, even forget about the independence thing. Say, go for that lawyer then. When I be fighting now waiting, when I won't still go for that place. That's the question. Any lawyer wey know say he know say na man pikin born you, me go there. If na man born you, go there, go there fine. But if na woman born you, Macwo, if you go there, if you go there, see, I want to say it. I know why they talk because me no man no cry. Say he brother na lawyer, he go do other so something so. Me no any man will watch me, send them for. If you are friend a lawyer for Cameroon, for Ambazonia, send this message to you. Say this thing na war. If any lawyer, anytime, come out for Ambazonia, he cross food, he go to Republic. If you go for any other thing, no problem. But when he go to Republic for that meeting, he come back. He don't even come back. No, he don't fit enter. He don't fit. I'm saying it on record. Because we are at war and anybody who is acting as a command and control post for the Republic of Cameroon should be destroyed. It's a fact. Why are you going to the enemy's camp to go and sell our secrets? Who does that in a time of war? What nonsense. See, I have advised, and I'll say it. The interim government says schools, people have the right to go to schools, but people should take precaution with their security. The American embassy has issued communiques saying that the Northwest and Southwest are dangerous. Those of the British origin, they are also aware. I'm also telling Ambazonian students that going to school is dangerous because there are going to be a lot of things that are happening that they will blame on Amazonian fighters. So be rest assured that schools are shut down. I hear that some people say life is going on normally in Boya. We didn't say that life shouldn't go on normally. We said that ghost tanks must be maintained every Monday, and that one is being respected. Anybody who goes, who refuses to respect ghost tanks, we're going to deal with that person. Because they say, let me tell you something. In every country, when there's a revolution, there are laws. Everybody knows. That's why when somebody writes that you go and cut my videos and give it to the FBI, I laugh. So you think, see, they see, what can FBI do to me apart from jail? That is all. For example, if I thought they have a jurisdiction, that is the limit. God kills the body and the soul. The human being kills only one. As though I'm afraid. No, I'm not. So don't think that I'm going to romance. No, we are paving a way for all of us who are hating this stuff to come together and put our energies together. But for those who are on ground zero, who think that because we're trying to preach unity, we are removing our eyes on the atrocities they're about to commit, they have to think twice. Any lawyer that will go to Douala, send them this message, will have me to face. Any lawyer that will go to Douala will have me to face. That is a fact. I don't want to say, listen, I've been very possessive about this particular statement. And possessive means I'm saying that Eric.courage, I have put in place every necessary measure. Every dispensation has been taken to ensure that any lawyer that will go to Douala for that meeting will have himself to blame. That is it. So if you want, you know that you're a human being, go to Douala and come back. Let me see. Send it here. See, say a lot of lawyers, some lawyers, now Thomases. The one thing that I've condemned, I have asked that restoration forces should safeguard Ambazonians. I have intervened in a lot of things. If you can ask Ayuk Kingsley, Fomban and Faku, all of these people, I don't want to hear that I say it, and I say it in public, that no Ambazonian should go and kidnap somebody's father or mother or brother asking for ransom. That one is not part of our fight. It is not in our dictionary. But anybody that goes contrary to the rules and regulation of this fight would be taught a lesson. That is a fact. We are at war. Listen, the US knows that we are fighting. The British House of Lords already said it. We are fighting a war. And that war was not brought upon us by us. La Republic of Cameroon probably has declared that war on us. And we should be very clear. Like somebody is saying, yes, the people who go and kidnap people and ask for ransom, they are fake Amber boys. However, we just cautioning other Amber boys to ensure that they don't indulge in those practices. So, when we are at war, some lawyers let me tell this very clearly. I am trying to see that we come together, and we must come together. Because we need to come together to put all resources together. Then we finish with Probia. But for people who are on ground zero, who will not want to respect the laws of the land, we will not joke with you. In the meantime, all of you who have written to me talking about the 5 days goes down, you have explained to me that is how civilians and other people who are honest to the cause, that's how they approach a policy given by government, because the government is not always right. So I'm doing this live show that there's a general appeal from ground zero. Just excuse me. Let me clean this real quick. There's a general appeal from Ground Zero for our people, from our people. They are asking that there should be some mitigation about this 5 days lockdown. And I think that the IG has heard me, and I hope that they react as fast as possible so that our people will have a convenient time going around their activities when it comes to all of these things. In the meantime, we still pray that everybody who is involved in this fight, see yourself as one man. Let's win this thing. For the lawyers, and you're a brother or sister of a lawyer, tell the lawyers that there is no time anymore for any romance. If you go to that meeting, stay in Douala. Stay there and stay there like you are staying there for good. Because if you come back to Ambazonia, I want to use the word. If you come back, you'll be arrested. I'm using it on social media. Watch my lips. ARRESTED. Arrested for going against the law of Ambazonia. Quote me anywhere. My name is Eric.courage. It's a strict order that if a lawyer goes there, goes to that meeting, we assume that you are going there to sell intelligence to the enemy. We assume, in fact, you are going there to take weapons to come and kill our people. So once you go and you come back, we'll arrest you and we'll respect the Geneva Convention when it comes to prisoner of war. We are at war with our republic, and anybody that's an enemy in that perspective should be arrested. And that is a fact. So any lawyer that will go there and come back will see what's going to happen. So thank you very much. Before I go, I want to say, everybody, we find time every time to ensure that we come as a team. Once more, from the depth of my heart, I'm very sorry for anybody who has been hurt before. I'm talking about all the frontline leaders. We need to come together as a team, and we need to fight this fight as one. In the meantime, there is always a time for everything. And be rest assured that your commitment and your resolve in pursuing unity, just like Sisiku, Ayuk, Tabe, Julius, our president has written from set, and all of those is going to be a big moment in this revolution. I love you all, and my brother Tapang, let's spend time writing things that will help the revolution. Let's ensure that we don't write from space. And just to let you know that I've still used the word arrested on this video. You have the right to cut it and send some more to the FBI. That is your problem, but I'm concentrating on seeing how I can assist you anytime that I can as a brother, but I will not hesitate to tell that brother this thing is wrong. But maybe this time around, I want to do it more privately so that we can move forward. In the meantime, God bless you and stay blessed, and long live the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Short live the struggle. Bye-bye.